Hello, welcome to Today in History. My name is Sotonye Afiesimama. Let's get rolling. We're rolling back to the year 1913. On this day, this gentleman, you may not recognize him because this is a sculptural piece, but I'm going to give you a clue. Do you know who this is yet? Another clue? Nope. There we go. Jesse Owens, born on this day, 1913. James Cleveland Owens was born in Danville, Alabama, and he was an American track and field athlete and four-time gold medalist in the 1936 Olympic Games. Owens specialized in the sprints and the long jump and was recognized in his lifetime as perhaps the greatest and most famous athlete in track and field history. I would say he is. He's not perhaps, he is the greatest and most famous athlete in track and field history. So those statues you saw were different statues of Jesse Owens strewn around the United States. This is one of the statues in Oakville, Alabama. I guess this is where his grave is located. So that's Jesse Owens for you, who was born on this day and died on the 31st of March 1980 at the age of 66. On this day in 1953, this beautiful couple got married. There, I'm sure you recognize them, President Kennedy and Jacqueline Bouvier. So Kennedy was a US Senator at the time, and he was obviously the future president. On this day, they got married in Newport, Rhode Island. So President Kennedy and Jacqueline Bouvier got married on this day in 1953. Let's move on to the year 1959. The Soviet Union launched Luna 2, the first space probe to land on the moon on this day in 1959. So that's Luna 2 pictured here, which which was launched today in 1959. It was the first space probe to land on the moon, launched on this day in 1959. 1967, on this day, this guy, Louis C.K., popularly known as Louis C.K., is an American comedian, writer, director, and producer. His real name, or full name, is Louis C.K. So Székely is spelled S-Z-E-K-E-L-Y. Louis C.K., best known by his stage name Louis C.K., like I said earlier, is an American stand-up comedian, writer, actor, and filmmaker. He won a Peabody Award in 2012 and has received 6 Primetime Emmy Awards, as well as numerous awards for the Chris Rock Show. Louie and his stand-up specials live at the Biko Theater 2011 and Oh My God. So in 2013, he has won the Grammy Award for Best Comedy Album twice. Rolling Stone ranked CK's stand-up special Shameless number 3 on the Divine Comedy 25 Best Stand-Up Specials and Movies of All Time list, and ranked him 4th on the 2017 list of the 50 Best Stand-Up Comics of All Time. Wow. Funnily, I've never heard of this guy, Absolutely crazy, weird. Louis C.K., born on this day in 1967. So happy birthday, Louis C.K., who is 53 today. 1974, on this day, Haile Selassie, Emperor Haile Selassie I of Ethiopia, was deposed by the Derg, a committee of revolutionary soldiers. Born Lige Tafari Makonnen On the 23rd of July, 1892, he died on the 27th of August, 1975. He was emperor from 1930 to 1974, and he had been regent plenipotentiary of Ethiopia from 1916. He is a defining figure in modern Ethiopian history. He was a member of the Solomonic dynasty, so essentially he was descended or claims to be descended from King Solomon of Israel of biblical times. He traced his lineage to Emperor Menelik I. Okay, so I suppose he's descended from the Queen of Sheba. Solomon had a dalliance with the Queen of Sheba thousands of years ago, and this is where the lineage, Emperor Haile Selassie's lineage, is descended from. Okay, so 1977, on this day, we sadly hear of the death of this man. His name is Steve Biko. He was a South African activist, and he died from injuries suffered while in police custody. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Same thing happening in America. He subsequently became an international martyr for South African Black nationalism. So that's Steve Biko, who died from his injuries suffered while in police custody on this day. Why would anyone have injuries while in police custody if he wasn't brutalized by the police? You know, that's a horrible, horrible thing. But Steve Biko died on this day, 1977. 1980, on this day, this is very interesting. Bit of a long one, but very interesting. Yao Ming. Look at the height difference between this guy and the other guy, who's probably at least 6 foot tall. You know, that's the shorter guy there. He's a Chinese basketball player. You'll find out why this is interesting. Born on this day in 1980. Basketball executive and former professional player. He played for the Shanghai Sharks of the Chinese Basketball Association and the Houston Rockets of the National Basketball, I'm going to pronounce this, Association, NBA. Tallest basketball player in the NBA. Now, this is where it gets interesting. He was made in China by order of the state. How did this happen? Yao Ming's father, interestingly, was the tallest man in China at the time, obviously when he was a young man. Obviously, he has been surpassed by his son. Well, so his height is 6'10". He's probably slightly shorter than that now due to aging. But he was 6'10", and his mother was the tallest female basketball player at 6'2" in China. So they were encouraged to get together. It wasn't like they fell in love or anything. They were encouraged to get together so that they would produce this behemoth of a human being. The plan worked, and obviously at the time China prided itself in human. I don't want to say it's not eugenics, is it? It's almost like you carefully plan to have this super tall human being. I'm not sure if it's called eugenics. Correct me on this if that's eugenics. But anyway, this was arranged by the Chinese government, and it worked. And this guy ended up playing basketball for China and for the United States of America. Okay, so that's that for Yao Ming, 7'6" Chinese basketball player, born on this day in 1980. So happy birthday, Yao Ming. He would be 40 today. 1981, Jennifer Hudson, born on this day. She is an American singer and actress. Full name, Jennifer Kate Hudson, also known by her nickname J Hud. She's an American singer, actress, philanthropist, has been widely recognized as one of the greatest singers of all time, cited for her soaring vocals, distinctive sound, and unique and emotive abilities. She has been referred to as the Princess of Soul from industry peers and critics. Hudson rose to fame in 2004 as a finalist on the 3rd season of American Idol, placing 7th. She made her film debut as Effie White in Dreamgirls 2006, for which she received an Academy Award, a Golden Globe Award, a BAFTA Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Supporting Actress. In 2015, she made her Broadway debut in the role of Shug Avery in The Color Purple. Yeah, I remember that movie. I think Oprah starred in that movie, and she had a story of how she prayed for that role and how it, she miraculously got the role. But that's a story for another day. So that's Jennifer Hudson, who was born on this day in 1981. So happy 39th birthday, Jennifer Hudson. Johnny Cash died on this day in 2003. Who was Johnny Cash? Country music legend. Hard-won integrity, simple poetics, and advocacy of the dispossessed transformed him into an American icon. So his beautiful voice, baritone voice, his simple poetics, his hard-won integrity, and advocacy of the dispossessed transformed him into an American icon. He died in Nashville on this day. He's one of the best-selling music artists of all time, having sold more than 90 million records worldwide. So that's Johnny Cash for you, who died on this day in 2003. Was a country music legend. 2014, last but not least. His name is Ian Paisley. Not many would have heard of him outside the United Kingdom, but he was an Irish politician. He was a militant Protestant leader in the factional conflict that divided Northern Ireland from the 1960s until the early 21st century. So he died on this day in Belfast. The year again was 2014. Looking at him here, he doesn't look like a militant Protestant leader, but yeah, he was quite militant. So on that note, we end today's Today in History. My name again is Sotonye Afiasimama. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Do not forget to like this video if you like it. Also, share with your friends and family. Click the notification bell as well so that you receive notifications whenever I upload a video. Thanks again, guys. Stay safe, and I shall see you tomorrow, the 13th of September, for another edition of Today in History.